Welcome back, fellow gamers. I want to talk to you today about Rainbow Six Siege and speculate on the new operators that will be in, specifically two of them. So, if you didn't know, there was actually a video that went live over the weekend, or it could have been on Friday, about the new layout of the operator selector screen, and an image was shown. This image, no, this one kind of sucks. The next image, and what it is it shows the icons for two new operators, and I just wanted to speculate on them quickly and get your opinion on what you think it could be. So let's jump in. It's really the main one that I want to focus on is the attacker. So this here at first I thought was a gear icon, but when I looked closer, it looks like it's three different flashes or something exploding. So I did some more digging, and I actually found about a month ago on Reddit there was a post that detailed some of the coding for what looked like new operators. One of them has what seems to be 5 grenades, and I would assume at this point that they are some sort of concussion grenades. I wouldn't really think they're flash grenades, given just an operator more flash grenades seems a bit boring. But what if at this point we're going to get somebody who can set up floodlights or just search light areas, like we see a lot of the times where when like a SWAT team sets up, they really illuminate the area. They want to make sure that they can see everything, but it also has another effect where the people that are looking outside can't really see much because the bright lights are shining in their face. I think if an operator had floodlights as an ability, just set them up outside, making like people who like to peek outside rethink. They're not really going to get much information if they're trying to look outside and they just have lights flashing in on them. I think it would really help the attackers deal with spawn peekers or just people who like to play on the outside of the map. Defenders that play on the outside of the map, that is. I think that would be a really cool aspect. And then giving the person, 5 additional flashbang grenades would help once inside. So while we're helping the operators get to the objective, that would, in essence, render this new operator useless once people are inside or if there aren't any spawn peekers. Well, the extra flashbangs will help disorient the enemies that are fortified inside the building. So that's one area where I'm like, okay, five flashbangs are kind of useful because we're now preventing people from spawn peeking. But let's say I'm completely wrong about that. Let's say they're not flashlights. Not flashlights, but I meant floodlights. Looking at it, maybe it is concussion grenades. We get a few concussion grenades. Once they're thrown in the room, they kind of slow the operator's movement, a bit like what you would see in Call of Duty. I know it's heresy to compare Call of Duty with, Rainbow Six, but flashbangs and concussion grenades do act very differently in that game. Flash just blinds the person. Concussion grenades slows the person's movement down when they're trying to pan from side to side or look up, look down. Their movement slowed. They can't really hear much. That's one aspect of doing it. It makes it really easy to throw in a concussion grenade, slow down the enemies, jump on in, and then you're picking off people that are, just slowed and they can't really react. They can obviously fire their gun, but that's kind of a last-ditch effort. Now, those are my two guesses. I would like to know what you think of those two. Now, the next one, the icon really doesn't give much. It looks like a V, looks like an X to some people, it looks like it's a UAV to others. Going back to the source files, it does look like this person can place some sort of mine. Cloak, and there is in the code something I mentioned about cloak, so I don't know if these are going to be like remote mines like you'd have back in GoldenEye, back in the day when you'd have GoldenEye proximity mines, time mines, and remote mines. That was amazing. I love those mines when I used to play GoldenEye. I would really like to see something like that as well. But we look at the space that's already served by, the C4 or nitro cells, what we call them in this game. It kind of serves a double purpose. The one thing that this would have, those remote mines being able to be invisible or cloaked or just, not sounding off anything, that would be really cool. That would also serve as an area to help. It's like a pseudo buff for IQ. I know that, with new operators, people are always assuming that IQ is now going to be relevant because, besides doing like terrorist hunt operations, IQ doesn't really get played that much because, she is situational. Like, again, a lot of the operators are, but I think in this case, having cloaked mines would really go a long way in helping IQ really say, okay, we need IQ now because we don't want to run into these invisible mines. That in itself is pretty cool. Other than that, I don't really have any guesses on what it could be. At first, I thought maybe it was some sort of shield, because I did hear rumblings. I think it was on Reddit about apparently a new defense operator getting a shield. That would actually be pretty cool. It'd be interesting as well. Like if it was a full-on shield where you can help block certain ways of entry by just standing there and having people shoot behind you, really pick off those corners. That'd be a really good way of doing it. I don't know if that's going to happen. And the source files didn't mention anything of a shield. They really just mentioned the mines. We'll see. I'm really interested in seeing what they can come up with. But again, I'd love to hear what you think the new operators are going to be. In the meantime, if you'd like to check out some of my other videos, you can do that right over here. And if you'd like to subscribe, right there. It really helps the channel out, but it also lets you know when we upload new content. I'd like to thank you for making me a part of your day. And until next time, good gaming.